So, bit of a chat between Non-Stanford and her charge, Alex Yee. Confirmation of the short shoots. We'll see it up on screen in a minute, but I believe it is Tim Hellwig who's going to pick up the Stars and Stripes short shoot, and fair enough because he's in the top 5, and Leo Bergere will be handed the short shoot, and fair enough because he is the one who's in title contention. Connick's obviously another good option, sitting right behind him there in 4th position. And then there's a gap back to Brownlee, who has gapped Seguin and Lewis. Seguin having served the 5-second penalty now and back in there. And Lewis, who is having a more difficult run at the moment than he's usually used to. There's the confirmation. Clip on the short shoot, and out the front is Wilde, and I guess what Hayden Wilde wants to do and why he accelerated there is to just make sure, as maybe not the strongest swimmer out there, he wants people to have to swim around him.
Yeah, he does that. And you know what, Wilde, for, I don't want to say a weaker swimmer, but by his own admission, he would say, you know, he's not the quickest swimmer in the sport. His 3rd swim in Supertri, he's always pretty good. And normally we'd expect for the weaker swimmers for the swim to drop off, but actually Wilde gets better as the swim goes on. Alex Yee getting a nice little toe there on his feet. That's a sensible position to be in as well. Let him face the chop and get a little bit of a light breather. You do get a little bit of a benefit from swimming on the feet, save a little bit of energy. It's the 2 French athletes though behind, Bergere and Connick and Hellwig, who for my liking is going to make the podium. I would say overall we just see Vasco Velarza there, has fallen 90 seconds down, so he is eliminated from this race. He was so frustrated because he was about to deliver us a very exciting race, and this bike course has proved a little bit difficult for some of the athletes out there, including Taylor Spivey, who came down in the women's race earlier on.
3 down as we head towards the 2nd last transition. And we're going to hear, actually, from Vasco Velarza in just a second. Vetla Thorne also on the bubble as well for Crown Racing. But we'll head down now to Adam Leach, and he's got a, no doubt, disappointed Vasco Velarza.
Oh, Vasco, so heartbreaking for you. Tell us what happened there.
Well, I mean, I was feeling very good. First time I think I'm leading a swim at a Supertri, and I got a little gap in the bike in that 2nd stage, and I was feeling very good, but obviously trying to keep the gap by being more tired and the fatigue settling in. I didn't take the corner as I should have, and trying to keep up the speed, I just went too fast and lost the grip on that corner.
It's as easy as that. Happens to everybody, even the very best of us. And yeah, fatigue's a big, not only fatigue from today, but fatigue from the week of being in the desert heat, fatigue from a season that has been so big for everybody as well.
And you know what, he's kind of owning it, right? He's not blaming the cause, he's not blaming the fact there might have been a bit of sand on there. He's saying, you know what, I was tired, I went in too hard, my fault, as Wilde
he's going to lead all the way through the swim. Yeah, and that's good from him, and he's going to stay 2nd throughout the swim, and the 2 Frenchmen, who are probably more renowned swimmers, are going to stay 3rd and 4th, if indeed they do, as they have that nice smooth run up into this nice big wide ramp up into the 2nd last transition of the day.
You know what, I feel for Parker Spencer. Like, I really do. He's such a great coach. He's such a great team manager, and he had 2 of his athletes up there leading the final race here in NEOM, and it just wasn't meant to be their day, as Wilde now takes the last few strokes before he comes up that little blue ramp, followed by Alex Yee. And there's the 2 French athletes up there as well. Tim Hellwig has survived that, Vincent Louis, and Brownlee just rounding up the back, and that's Yanis who served that penalty as well on the run. He's managed to stay with that little group of athletes.
Yeah, Lewis had a good swim then to keep himself in contention, and Wilde, well, he knows he's got probably the best runner in triathlon right behind him, so he's going to need to have one of the all-time bike legs, which he is very, very capable of, and he won't be worrying about having people to work with at this stage. He'll just be putting everything into it. Hellwig, Brownlee, similarly, the 2 veterans crossing the mountain line now in Lewis and Brownlee, and then Seguin with his heroes, no doubt, trying to tack onto the back, and it's head down, and with those interesting canyon hoods And as aero as possible down this long, long straight, Hayden Wilde disappears, and Leo Bergere is the one that manages to tack onto the back of Alex Yee.
Well, one thing that you can't do here is take the title away from Wilde. He's came into the series finishing first in Boston and then 11th in London and Toulouse. He didn't race due to the fact he was doing jury service. But I think Wilde doesn't want to just win the series here. He doesn't want to finish second to Alex Yee, does he, in this race here?
No, if anything, I think he's probably thinking more about not finishing second to Alex Yee than he is about winning the title.
Do you know what I was just thinking? He's like, not again, you are not having this one. This is mine.
Yeah, this is mine, exactly. He finished second in Boston to Alex Yee. He won in Chicago. He won in London, and Yee wasn't there, but he won in London for the third time for 3 attempts. And then he finished third in Toulouse, having run the last half a lap with one shoe, and that was to Velasa and Helwig. And now he is in the lead of this one. Actually, he was there in London, but he finished 11th overall. Sorry, we'll head down now to Adam Leach.
Tim, a fascinating battle coming here, not just in the individual, but the teams as well. How do you see this playing out?
Oh man, if I knew, I'd love to know. You know, Leo's in such great shape. We're pushing him for the overall. Yanis was here as a support act, and Dorian Connix is running so well. But, I mean, the race has been blown apart in that third swim. So, yeah, it's all about, we need to get in front of Vince to get more team points. Sounds easy. It's not. The guy is an animal over short course racing.
This is true, and it is Wilde and Yee and Bergere. Then Connix on his own. Helwig versus Lewis. Brownlee versus Seguin. Top 8 and no one anywhere near them. 13 seconds across them, and those 3 at the front, well, they remain your Olympic podium and your top 3 here in Supertri.
And you know what, we are looking at 3 of the greatest, that we really are. I mean, not discounting Vincent Louis, but he'd admit it himself at 35 years of age and in his last short course race. But Wilde, Yee and Bergere, an absolute demonstration of brilliant athletic genius. The 3 of them, they are absolutely amazing.
It was very poetic, Andy.
It wasn't it? I'm getting carried away.
Brilliant athletic genius. I'm not, yes. Adjectives abound. I loved it.
But Alex Yee, wow, just love to watch him race. Unfortunately, Wilde is struggling to shake him off because I think Yee personally will get the better of him on the run, but Wilde going well for the overall title. Leo Bergere might have to hand it over. I don't see him beating him on the run or taking the title, as Vettel Torn now for Crown Racing is out of the race, falling 90 seconds behind.
These 3 up the front, looks like our podium. The question is, not only and what steps on the podium for this race, but Wilde, if he can stay upright, will likely be our overall championship winner. But the 2nd and 3rd place on that podium, well, it's up for anyone. Yee, Bergere, Helwig, Connix could all come 2nd in the overall.
Yeah, looking Vasco Lance, unfortunately out of the running after that crash. Matt Hauser, after his crash in Torremolinos in the World Championship final, he's not here. He's out. Naina's out as well, falling behind 90 seconds. Very uncharacteristically, having had a 6th, 4th and 5th in Toulouse to Kenji Naina, but not having a great day here. This is interesting.
It is. It is, again, smarter names than us will do the maths. We'll head down now to Adam and Michael Gilliam.
Michael, this is tightening up a little bit for the team's league title here.
Yeah, it's getting closer. We're still sweating on it at the moment. I think we'll be all right, but you never know. Someone could still drop this bike. I want to get him off this bike.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know how he feels, Will, sorry, but I really do. I've got my heart in my mouth. They've just got to get round safely now. They are lap 3 of 4.
Bergere probably the most likely to take 2nd in the overall standings, being 2nd at the moment on 39 points and sitting in the top 3. But you're right, let's get him off the bike. That's the corner we saw Taylor Spivey come down on. Vasco Velasa came down on the previous corner, and on the inside line, Wilde accelerates, but he can't get in front of Yi, who takes a wider line on that turn, and we're into the last lap of the bike. So now it's just about surviving and seeing who's got the run legs, and 9 times out of 10 it's Alex Yi who has it. But these guys, world champions, 2 of them, Olympic medalists, all 3 of them, all on their day can have the perfect race, and we saw Hayden Wilde do that in Torremolinos a couple of weeks ago, and Alex Yi ran through just about everyone. But when you look at the timing splits from that race, and that was over 10 kilometres, completely different, you couldn't, indistinguishable just about, Wilde and Yi. But Bergere, well, he had his lead eaten up a little bit from Alex Yi, but this is 1.6 kilometres. This is a completely different set of skills, a completely different energy system, and especially at this stage of a race that has demanded so much. They've already run twice.
Wow. Do you remember the final last year? That was a battle between Wilde and Bergere, wasn't it? It was a tough battle, and Wilde was a bit miffed that he wasn't giving the short shoot, but that is a year ago, a year ahead, and it's still Wilde and Bergere. Alex Yi, the Olympic champion, sitting in 3rd, and I love these guys. They are such pros. They are giving absolutely everything, Will. That's what amazing, because these 3 guys could slightly take it a bit easier, but they just love to put on this kind of performance for the fans, and they love to battle it right to the end. No one's sitting up. They're giving 100% to absolutely all of this course. Wilde a little bit shaky around that bend, looking over his shoulder. I'd love to know what's going through his mind right now, and I think you're absolutely right. It's how do I beat the Olympic champion, Alex Yi?
Wilde's thinking about Yi, Yi's thinking about Wilde, and Bergere's thinking, I've got the short shoot, and these guys don't. So I need to remember that as the shoes come off and we head into transition for the very last time in season 2024. And where would you rather be than having the 3 guys, as Yi has a little bit of an issue with his bike, the 3 guys who have contended across all short course triathlon in all competitions over the last couple of years, with 1.6 kilometres between them and a race win here at the back end of 2024. And it's Wilde who comes out first, Yi last, but we've seen him eat up massive leads before, and Wilde does what he did in Paris and goes out really hard on the first lap, trying to keep a gap this time. It evaporated in the last 300 metres back then. What happens this time? It's anyone's guess.
That is an incredible pace he is set, but has he gone too quick, too early? He's still got just under a mile to run as Alex Yi, the Olympic champion, hangs on to the shoulder of the bronze medalist from Paris, Leo Bergere. This race is between these 3. The title race, though, we know if it finishes in this position, as we can see now, Wilde first, Leo Bergere second, Alex Yi 3rd, that it will be Wilde who takes the title. Bergere will be 2nd, but 3rd place is all to play for. You'd have to say it's Hellwig there as Leo Bergere takes that short shoot and just cruises into the lead.
Well, it's actually handy for Hayden Wilde because he just gets to tack onto the back of Bergere and hopefully put some time in, and it looks like a little gap's forming to Yi. Now, can he respond? We know how well he measures his runs. He's not going to get stressed. He's going to realise he can eat the gap. He just wants the others to run out of petrol first, but there is definitely a gap there. And Wilde, could this be the day that he finally beats Yi in a straight-up head-to-head run? Bergere wants to get in the middle of this, preferably out the front. This is only the first of 2 laps, and we're already out of our chairs.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the absolute very best in the world right now. Great to see Leo Bergere hanging on to that lead. How long will he keep it for? Where is Yi? Can he pull anything back?
The top 3 in the World Championships finals, the top 3 in Paris, and now the top 3 in the Super Triathlon Grand Final. Let's hear from Non Stanford. Can Alex do it?
Non, we're literally watching Alex chase down Hayden here. Hayden versus Alex is the battle that everybody loves to see. Is Alex determined to get it over on him one more time this year?
I'm sure he is. You know, like you say, it's been a battle for the last few years. Alex never gives up. He always comes back. He's only got 1,600 metres or 800 metres to come back right now, so it's going to be really exciting, but I trust him to fight all the way to the line.
Oh, well, just as Non Stanford was talking then, Hayden Wilde has found another gear again. He's gone in front, but that gap back to Yi has halved to Bergere, and they're coming together again. And could this be heartbreak again for the Falcon, Hayden Wilde? Does he have any more? He looks over his right-hand shoulder and he sees Bergere. He sees the shadows that come up. He's looked at the shadows on the Supertri logos on the fairing there and seen, oh, that's the shadow of Alex Yi. He's back with us.
Oh, goodness me. Can Alex Yee draw on those track days? Let's have a look. He's come up onto the shoulder now of Hayden Wilde.
He's come up, he's gotten rid of Bergere for the moment, and suddenly it is as it was in Boston all those rounds ago, all those months ago, exactly like this. And can he measure that run again? It was a 2-second gap, it's gone back to none. We've got 300 metres to go now, and it is Wilde and Yee. It's what we all wanted to see.
This has to be the very best ever final 400 metres I think that we have ever seen in the 6 years of Supertri racing. Alex Yee looks a little bit relaxed now as Leo Bergere goes into the lead.
Oh, well, throw a blanket over the three of them. Bergere wants this one.
Come on, you've got to call it well. Come on, call it for me.
I don't want to start too early. We've got a little bit to go yet. One more turn and we're going to be onto the back straight. We're going to be seeing the black carpet. It's Bergere in the front at the moment. And now it's Yee who's going to kick down the inside. I don't think Bergere's going to get him. Wilde's in third position, but it's a sprint from Alex Yee. He's timed it perfectly, I think. Here comes Wilde on the outside of Bergere. And I don't think he's going to get him, just as it was in Boston, as it is in Saudi Arabia. Alex Yee gets him again. Hayden Wilde in second, but he is your overall champion. And it looks like Leo Bergere, second overall in the championship. Doesn't get any better than that.
It simply doesn't, Will.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't get any better than that in triathlon racing. Dorian Connick's just coming across the line in fourth place now. Wow, wow. No, I've lost it now. I've lost it.
That was great. That was great.
What a
Hillwood in
finish.
fifth. Connick's 21 second back just shows you how fast these guys were running, and Alex Yee just does what he does again and again and again. He wins this one, finishes on a high note, finishes probably his best ever year on a high note, and Hayden Wilde is your Supertri champion.